Okay, so the driving knife assembly was quite bad. It was no near on the same plane as the saw blade, so I have a separate video for that as well. Okay, what next then? Let's discuss this sliding part of the table. You can see that there is something new and extra here which isn't included in the original assembly, but I will talk about this accessory a little bit later on. For the moment it's simply here. Okay, once I had already recalibrated and readjusted the cast iron table, I had to make sure that the sliding table is also lifted, because I almost had to raise this 0.5 centimeter, which would mean that if I hadn't moved that along, then there would be a noticeable gap in the height between those two. And actually this sliding part of the table needs to be a little bit higher than the cast iron table. There isn't any material available in the manual or in the internet officially what is the reasonable height difference. I have found a very good instructional videos by David Best. He has a Flickr account with a lot of very good videos, so those have helped me out a lot. He's doing those recalibration processes with Felder machines, but the general idea is the same, so I tried to copy a lot of this know-how with this machine's calibration. His methods are all in imperial units, so I tried to convert everything to SC units, to millimeters, and etc. So I hope that I haven't made any conversion mistakes. But what I tried to do, or how much higher I tried to raise the slider related to the cast iron table, was about 0.254 millimeters. And exactly the same height on the whole length, because otherwise the sled would rise and fall during the sliding process, so it needs to be perfectly level relative to the cast iron table, only its plane should be a little bit higher. And I believe that I achieved this height reasonably well for a moment, but later on I discovered some things which need me to readjust the table a little bit. Again, this whole slider mechanism is sitting on top of four threaded bolts, and this adjustment mechanism is even more difficult than with the cast iron table, because everything is all the mistakes that one makes are multiplied, because if in here, for example, there is a very small mistake when you pull the table out already, then on the other end of the table the mistake or the insufficient tolerance already grows quite a lot, and especially it's very prone to copy everything, all the mistakes basically that you can adjust to this table, height differences, all the bends, etc. So it's a nightmare to adjust this thing actually, even with gauge indicators, which I did. This takes not hours, but it takes a day or more. Of course, there is quite a long learning curve. If you have done it 2 or 3 times, then maybe for the 4th time it is a matter of couple of hours, but still this is something that should make everyone an alcoholic basically. So this is definitely a factory responsibility to make it right, and everyone should think 10 times before they decide to readjust anything in here on themselves. So just to be warned that this is not anything you should do too easily. Okay,